Well, truthfully, we do have a quorum, because we're only 5 now. And Liz says she's coming, Sharon is not coming. And Liz says she was gonna join us online, so. We will call, Sue, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
I thought you were sleeping at first.
Oh. I wish.
Bob is. He's not an actual voting member.
Oh, okay, he just shows up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
No, he's a member of just the Essex Land Trust,
Oh,
so.
okay, yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
that
a
makes
liaison.
sense, yeah, that's
That's
true.
what, well, Sheridan's weird, because Sheridan's actually a voting
Yeah.
member, but she's from Westbrook, so. But she does live in town.
So I have a good Sheridan story. So my good friend of mine was running Boston Marathon, so I went up this year, my husband and I and her husband, we met up, and so we're watching the race, and they were staying at the big Hilton down there. So there's thousands of people, right? I haven't gone in like ages, thousands of people. So we meet Chrisanne, we go to the Sheridan just to have a drink, and who's sitting there at Sheridan? Like she had run the race, but I mean, of all the thousands of people,
Weird.
she's sitting there with a friend, you know, having her post-race drink, and she's like, Chris. So it was just so weird to like run into somebody that you know. And
It's a good day for it.
it was a little cool, but perfect for running.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
should I promote the iPad guest to panelist?
She had a good time. Didn't see her running, but thing to look for.
Oh, I'm glad I promoted you.
Hello.
Liz, all it says is iPad guest, so I was hoping it was you. It didn't have your name on it.
Yeah, the mystery person.
All right, so we'll call the meeting to order at 6:04 PM. We have minutes from the March 27th meeting. We did not meet in April. Look for a motion to approve those minutes from the 22nd. Approve. Chris seconds it. Any
I
discussion?
can second that if you need it.
No, Christine Piccolo seconded it.
Okay,
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signifying aye.
I,
Opposed, abstentions, thank you. So, we have no guests. This is gonna probably be our shortest meeting of the year. Since I don't have too much to discuss. And I have a few things to share, but not really too much to discuss. So we'll go on to old business, update on interim trails. So our last meeting back in March, we discussed a few different sections of the trail that needed some work, especially a culvert over the red trail that was flowing water. I had talked to our public works director regarding a pipe for that. He does have one. He's just backed up at this point in time for putting it in with all the projects that are going around town. He's got and getting all the parks right. There's a long story, long list of stuff he has to get done. So at this point in time, it's not a priority to get done on his list, but he does have that product. We will get it in. And it's a little wet to do it right now anyway. So we'll wait till it dries up a little bit, then we'll get that in there. So that's one good thing about the interim trails on that end of it. We did not discuss what we're gonna do in the yellow trail coming from the parking lot down to those lower sections. And I was thinking maybe it's a little easy fix if one of us or someone can go out there, and literally make a little drain area for it off the side of the trail to get some of the water to flow at this point in time, because it's just a low spot. So that's one thought on that one, besides getting rocks out there or reworking the trail or so on and so forth. And then the last part of it is mapping for the new trail at the Ingham Hill parking lot. Chris did go out there after the meeting, take the GPS and GPS points into it. But I guess I need another app to get those GPS points into a GIS map, which I'm working on. So there's another layer to get that new map created. So those are my little updates from our preserve area. Chris had sent me an email regarding 2 points in the preserve for the interim trails. He said this was actually in May that he's last week in May. Trail closure signs for the area determined for closure should be completed next week and ready for installation. So he's on the trail closure part of it, like he said he would do. And hopefully that gets done fairly shortly here. And then he sent me a picture of another connecting point from Great Cedars West from the preserve, which is a another really wet spot. There's a little bridge that goes over a small little stream there that was been made for years, but it's very, very wet. So I can actually, I'll send these to you guys later. But if you want to look at this particular trail. So we have to work on that part of the trail as well. And that's a connection point. And unfortunately, that connection point is not part of our interim trail system. So I'm not sure it's gonna be a priority right now. We know the other sections are actually in the interim trails that we're promoting to use. This particular trail is not. So I'm not sure how to approach that as of yet. But it is on the Park and Rec side. We could probably do something.
Well, and it falls. I mean, cause the Great Cedars, east and west sort of fall under our,
Great Cedars East and West fall under my department.
yeah, and sort of we share with conservation because we did the MOU.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
So
We could do whatever we want on both those connection points.
Yeah.
The problem is those trails then lead into unsanctioned trails in the preserve. Right, so where do I don't want to just abandon those trails that are highly used. I think we should do something. We can do something. I just don't know if we want to promote. We always say, don't promote the trails that are not part of the trail system right now, so.
Yeah, right.
It's a catch-22, I think.
Because
Doesn't
eventually,
one of those also have a piece of property that we need an easement on? Or am I on the wrong end?
Oh, you're on the right end. So Great Cedars West, connecting up in the preserve, the trail goes through private property for like 300 feet. And then it goes back into our property. So we do need an easement through that property. So,
This isn't too far from the parking lot, the Great Cedars East
Correct.
parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Huh. Nice.
so that's a mess, yeah.
That's
That's how wet it's been. I mean,
Yeah.
it's rained what, 10 times in May. It rained.
Yep,
So,
it's very wet there. I had to put on my wellies.
yeah, yeah. So, those are some of the issues we're facing in the interim trail system. Certainly wet out there. Not much we can do about some of the other low spots, but
These are good pictures to take because then you can go back and you can lock on them. Just dig out a little bit and you take whatever rocks you can get there flat nearby and set them in and then
oh, yeah, yeah.
move the soil back
Yeah,
in and it
for sure.
hardens and.
Yep.
And it raises it up a little bit too.
We did that in Town Park, right over the bridge,
Yeah,
going into the trail system.
that's held up pretty
It's
well.
held up pretty good. That was actually an Eagle Scout project.
Hmm.
It was nice, so that's done well, but yeah, that's good thought. It's just really wet out there, but I hope to get the culvert in. I won't say by next month, mid-July, hopefully, it dries up a little bit out there. And then we can work on the other parts of that.
Where is that? You said Yellow Trail Culvert,
So the culvert's gonna be on the red trail. If you go over the Frog Bridge,
yeah,
you keep going north, the trail will go up a little tiny hill and kind of turn to the right.
yeah,
There used to be wooden boards all through there, and we took them out through one of our grant projects way in the beginning. And there's a small stream that basically connects right into the trail and it flows down the trail instead of going across it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I just want to get that water to flow underneath the trail to the other side of it, where it does connect into a brook.
yeah.
So. It's a no-brainer, it's just overflows on the trail.
I mean, the trail system has kind of started to evolve to the other side of that area.
Some made a walkabout, yes,
So it's like, that's the other option, right? is
Yeah.
Just decommission that.
because it goes up a
section.
little hill and then it goes around it and then. It goes almost similar to a small little bridge up there.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it runs parallel.
Yeah.
basically. It's dry, the rest of it's dry.
Yeah. And just past that, you get into the power lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know where it is now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the goal, and hopefully we'll have that done, so. Anything else on interim trails? Liz, you been out there at all?
Yeah, no, but I do have a question, but I wasn't sure if it was an interim trail question. It's actually not. I should probably
You know
say
how
that.
we run our meetings, it's okay, just throw it out there.
Okay, where are we at with the equestrian bridge and the town maybe building it?
Well, that's still part of the interim trail system. Last I knew, Carl was going to get a quote from Jeff Jacobson, which is
Okay.
our town engineer,
Engineer?
to have them engineered out, so you could get a cost for them to do it. And that was talked about at the CMC meeting in March, I think that was when it was discussed.
Hmm.
I've not gotten an answer back from Carl on that.
Okay,
I don't know where he's at, but that was the last that was talked about, because I had the town engineer give me a rendition of it that the equestrian group gave us.
right,
They made it a little bit better. They had to widen it out and so on and so forth, and then they did not want to do the work on it. We gave them a good plan, they didn't want to do the work. And then Carl at that meeting said, well, I'll go to Jeff Jacobson, who deals with, they have bridges obviously, and they're gonna get a quote, see what it costs, to see if it'd be cost effective for us to do it. So,
is there any chance, do you think, that it can get started in the fall? I mean, it doesn't seem like it would take so long to build.
Liz, I'd like to get it started a lot earlier than that, because it's a bridge that is in dire need of fixing.
Okay, that would be great to get it done sooner.
Issue, I can't promise that, but the issue really is, well, there's two issues. It's financial as of right now. And the other issue is strength of it and what it can hold, right? It certainly should hold horses, but it also has to hold vehicles. 'Cause that's an emergency access to go over it. It's a small stretch, it's 12 feet long or so. It's not very big. But you still have to be able to get a vehicle over it. So that's some of the issues that we face on that particular thing. So how he's gonna engineer it out, I have no idea. How much it'll cost, I have no idea.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Anything else on interim trails?
No.
All right, we'll move on. I have nothing new on the weekend. Well, I do have something new. Weed control discussion. So I was in a meeting with Kathy Connolly today regarding something else. And she had told me that the 3-acre property off of Ingham Hill Road, right at the top, right where the south side of the swamp is, or that we cleared out probably 6 or 7 years ago now, is really overgrown with some raspberry bushes, she called them, like basically barberry. So it was kind of disappointing in her mind that's getting overgrown again. And I know Alex Amendola was on that the last time we met with him, because there was some surge that had come in there, and he was disappointed that the surge was in there. And I know he had his crew go up there and do some work, so I found out about 4 o'clock today on this one. So I will try to reach out to Alex and see if he has a crew that goes up there on a regular to see if he can knock some of it back again. That's unfortunate that that's growing so well in there.
Right,
As we all know, weeds grow well everywhere, especially when they get a lot of water. Right?
I haven't been in that section yet. So the barberry is back again?
Yeah, it's a different type of barberry, I guess. It's not the same one that we took out. And I think she called it a raspberry barberry.
Okay. Some reading on my part, no problem.
No, right? So, yeah, but something else is growing up there soon.
Okay.
Mountain bike community discussion. Keith, now I know last meeting, not that the mountain bikers got beat up, but bikers got brought up a lot last meeting
Yes.
about certain sections. I know you had mentioned a few times that you were in communication, obviously, with a lot of them about just being good stewards of land, which mountain bikers, I think, are usually good stewards. Have you had an opportunity to discuss anything that got discussed last meeting
Well, I did, and I think I know one of the groups that may be responsible. I tried to reach out to one of them. Didn't get any responses.
So,
So, I was kind of hoping to bump into some of those folks, which I will, once I get back out there again, so
Yeah.
I'll be back riding again.
Yeah.
Friday night is. Oops.
all right. I was wondering, I was hoping Bob would be here tonight, give us an update on the Green Trail section, if he fixed any more of what was destroyed last time. You recall, he said, this was a section a couple years ago that the very steep section that goes into a brook area, crosses right into Essex. And we fixed it because there was a lot of silt runoff originally from that trail into the brook. So we transformed the trail to make it a switchback area past this very steep area. And then I guess it was taken down all the work, so there you go.
Yeah, see, that area, could use some vegetation,
Yeah,
and it's washed out to clay for the most part.
oh, yeah,
Hard to
yeah,
plant anything on that.
yeah.
I didn't realize it was taken down from anything in that area.
Well, that's what he had said last time, they had put some bushes and whatever cover on the trail to, and some signs
Yeah,
and
there's-
some other stuff,
Signs and tape.
and they were all taken out. So. Unfortunately. So if you hear from anything from them, please let us know, please.
I don't know.
Anything else on old business anyone wants to bring up? Told you, this is gonna be a quick meeting. We'll move into new business, the public use plan discussion. I left this on here for a couple reasons, so it's a talking point. But also to move into the forest, I didn't put the forest management plan on there, there's nothing new to talk about, but it also pertains to the forest management plan, so. As of last meeting, as you all know, it was not signed as of yet, and that was 2 months ago. And, you know, we all brought up when Chris said he's leaving for, you know, greener pastures, I'll say right now. You know, we discussed, well, is this gonna take 3 weeks to sign, a year, whatever it may take? So it's been 2 months now since it still has not been signed. And I asked, Alex and Carl if they heard anything on the signing of the forest management plan. Carl had not heard anything. And Alex got back to me with this particular email. I asked him a couple different questions, but basically his email says, we are still waiting on a signature on the management plan from our deputy commissioner. He has not moved forward as all our legal team is still working on challenges to the management plan that Chris Kreider and the CEQ have brought forward. And that we all know that, you know, Chris obviously admits to that, and we talked about it last meeting. And then, oh, and he also went on paternity leave and won't be back for several months.
Oh, gee.
Oh, I'm not sure what several months mean, but to me, that's a long time. So I don't think we're gonna have anything written in stone for a little bit.
So who went on paternity leave?
That'd be the deputy commissioner.
Oh,
for
okay.
DEP, and the deputy commissioner of DEP is the one who needs to sign the plan.
Yeah, okay.
So,
But the thing is, when someone takes a leave like that, there's someone else who can sign in their place. I mean,
Right,
I would hope so, yes.
Yeah, but it's. the
so maybe
commissioner.
we need to find out who that is, or maybe, you know, maybe they're just as they said, working on the issues that were brought forward. I mean, but still, it
It
should
could be,
take them so long
Yeah.
to do that.
it could be, and I will, full disclosure, I was FOI'd by a DEP lawyer for minutes from these meetings.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what they're looking for, but I had to give them some meeting minutes, so.
Okay.
But, oh, they're looking for you, Chris, that's right. But,
I say, mm.
So you all get me guilty.
Well, they're certainly doing their due diligence on the questions that were raised.
Okay,
You know, and as Chris said, he hopes that the forest management plan gets gets, looked at by CEQA regulations in the state of Connecticut. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're doing, so I don't know. But I don't think we're gonna have much to say on that or the public use plan for a little bit now.
And
So,
the conclusion is that we can't go on to the next step while we're waiting for that plan.
that is what it is, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so.
But we can continue discussions with the trail. The
Absolutely,
director,
Sue,
right?
and we're still gonna do those closures that we talked about, like I said, in those trail areas that were formed that should not have been formed,
Mhm.
and possibly get back to the original core map that we have of the interim trail system, because right now it's not an interim trail system. It's a trail, make it at your own risk system. So
Yeah,
we want to go back to that. So I think by closing off some of those trails, we are doing this, the Forester Service, doing the animals and the fauna and the flora service, and getting back to some safety issues as well. So
I agree.
I think we.
I think the state is just, we can go ahead and do it, and then if they don't like it, they'll tell us, but I think we need to go ahead and just get serious about closing some of those off.
And I have all the signs, Chris has signs, I have more signs in my office. I have the green stakes to put them in the ground, blah, 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 all that good stuff, so. We're ready to go on some of that stuff. And along those lines, part of the reason why I had a meeting with Kathy today was stewardship of not just the preserve, about all our properties.
Mhm.
As you know, the last couple months, we've had a few meetings about stewardship and getting some people out there for stewardship activities within the properties. And hopefully it leads into some preserved stewardshipness, but our goal at the end of the month of June is to have another meeting. And get some people out there doing some jobs. So as of right now, we're gonna have a meeting. I'll get all this out to everyone, but we're gonna have a meeting on June 26th. It's a Thursday before this meeting. It's gonna be at like 4 o'clock at the at the pavilion rather. And maybe we'll have our meeting right at the pavilion. We'll see.
June, what was that?
June 26th. So hopefully we get some more activities going like that and get some people working within the trail system. And, certainly in our kind of old Saybrook trail stuff, but also in the preserve, so.
Sounds good, Ray. Thanks for getting that
No,
going.
you're welcome, and it's really a Kathy spearheaded effort with Chris and some other people in town.
Mhm.
And I'm thanking them for getting it going, because it's not the easiest thing to do, and they certainly have all the contacts to do that, so it'll be a good thing, and if we can get this off the ground and going and get a base of 10, 15, 20 people to get out there on a regular basis to do some
Mhm.
trail monitoring, it'll help out all our trails, really, it will. I think if you look at when Bob talks about Essex trails and all the stewards they have out there, and they catch all these people doing certain things, I think those people are out there, and I think we need a very similar thing. We have over 30 miles of trails. Think about that, over 30 miles of trails in Saybrook.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. It's a lot to take care of. So, a stewardship group is really important.
That thing that she had, the meeting, whatever, January.
It was out back there, yeah.
Yeah, there was a great turnout, and that
Awesome
was
turnout.
part of
Yep.
getting names,
Yep.
but I think we just gotta.
Gotta keep it going,
galvanize all
so
that, yeah.
that was just getting people aware of what's going on. And now it's getting into getting out there, so. We talked about, like adopt a highway, adopt a section of trail. And that's your trail system that you look out after, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Meeting multiple groups.
Yeah.
Represented there, like
sure,
dog walkers, the runners.
yeah, the equestrians, yeah,
the
absolutely.
bikers, the bikers.
Yeah. And the e-bikers.
Yeah,
E-bikes, the kids that come around with their bikes now, they're doing like 35 miles an hour through the parking lot. I'm like, I don't even know how to control them.
Yes. You can catch
It's
them on a
amazing.
speed gun, yes.
It's amazing how fast they go.
Yeah, there's a lot more accidents.
Yeah, no,
E-bikes
absolutely.
than there are regular bikes.
So that's really all I have for tonight, truthfully. I don't even know when the next CMC meeting is, so. The last one was in March, so it should be in June, and I will find that out and let everyone know. I don't know, where they're at with it, but that's an important meeting. Regardless of what they're talking about, but. You know, because they only meet quarterly, so we need to know what's going on.
Mhm.
Sure. So,
This is an FYI, it has nothing to do with preserve, but it did involve a CEQ and I thought I'd just share it with you guys. So Carolyn Lyle, who's the SOS tree lady, is on top of all the stuff that's going on. And apparently, the state or whoever wants to put in a 1 megawatt solar photovoltaic electric generating facility on 74 Boken Road. And I guess CEQ went in there. I don't know if you've heard about this. I probably didn't know about it. But anyway, cited, you know, wildlife, wetlands, vernal pools that could be impacted for them putting this in there.
it's
So,
on Broken Road, because there was one
Yeah.
that they had up towards, Carroll Creek area, that the original, this was a while ago.
you know, I don't know what we're saying.
I don't know.
Or-
I wonder if that's on that, up in that rocky ridge on the opposite side.
So you know what those are, though?
Mhm.
It's a big battery tank
Oh,
that
no, it
stores
is.
energy, the batteries that they put back.
So it's probably the footprint can't be huge. I don't know.
If you-
It is pretty.
Last I knew those are like, if you think of like a storage container,
Mhm.
about the size of those,
Yeah,
so.
like a small building.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
much,
no, I
yes,
could
it's a
visualize
small
it,
building,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, no,
correct.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so depending on where they're putting it and what they need to do to get to it or whatever. I bike on there often, and so I have to try to make a note to see what's saying. Well, I mean, I just thought I'd share that, but anyway, CEQ seems to be
Out there.
out there.
The other thing too, on the CMC, Ryan McFarland stepped down. with this.
You did.
Wow.
Did he tell you who's stepping up for him?
Wait, we did, yeah, was that an email? Oh, that sounds familiar.
He was sent me a text.
No, somebody.
I don't know. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Well, it's gonna be a bruise on my face because I dropped the ball. But we need to talk to Eversource about plants.
You do. I didn't put it on this meeting, because last meeting Chris said he was, so you had missed the last meeting, I tabled it. I just didn't put it on this meeting because I knew Sheridan wasn't coming as well, but, Chris said he is willing to work on that project as well.
Okay, I'll get a note, hold of him too, so I can tell him what I was thinking of around the parking lot,
Okay,
right?
sure.
Not a problem. I don't know what we would do without Chris or Kathy.
That's right.
No,
They're our secret weapon.
That's
they
right.
are. They are.
Beloved, I will add. We're on record. I'll say that too. All right, so thank you for that.
Anything else for anyone?
Mm-mm.
Look at that, Liz, 6:31.
Oh my
Not bad.
goodness.
Oh,
Great.
Oh
Motion
my
to adjourn.
goodness.
Yes.
yes.
Keith made a motion to adjourn.
So,
Go ahead.
okay.
Everyone seconded it.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we all did.
All right,
Thanks.
everyone. You're welcome. Enjoy
All
your
right,
evening.
take it easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye-bye.
See you next month. Bye.